kwezinye indawo. I applied kwezinye indawo without deregistering, mind you, without deregistering. I applied kwezinye indawo. And then after that, I also applied for NSFAS. Oh, yeah, I also applied for NSFAS. Kanti NSFAS is going to take my details as a DUT. Around September, October, it was like, it came through. I was like, what? Like, I didn't sign a school in guys, so it was like, it came through now, and there's nothing I can do. I wasn't attending, I wasn't submitting, it was just, my life was just a mess. So I was just like, oh wow, I'll try again. I don't know. I'll try again some other time. And then 2018 came. That was 2017. 2018 came, and in 2018, I don't know where is this video going to stop because it's still calculating. It's still counting. So in 2018, I didn't tell my parents about, listen, this is what happened. So I went back to Durban pretending everything is fine and all of that. It was very stressful. Trust me, it was a very stressful time for me. And in 2016, I lost my grandma. Towards the end of around October, I lost my grandmother. And then 2017, I lost my cousin. She was close to me. I was close, but we weren't so close anymore. But yeah, that was also, but besides all of that, life was just shitty. I feel like everything was just stressful during that period. And then 2018, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try looking for a job. You know, I'm not gonna tell my parents. I don't know, because I managed to get an interview. The interview was in Campton Park. It was a TFG. I can still remember. I got an interview. It was a TFG interview. What had happened was, so I went back to Durban, arrived, and my friend Uneli, oh bless her soul, arrived with my friend Uneli, and I stayed with her. I stayed with her for like a couple of days, and then after that, I took a bus to Josie. Josie arrived at my friend's place, Tembi's place. I can still remember. I think she lied to her mom. Oh my god, I made people lie for their lives, because she was like, why doesn't she go to her family here? And I couldn't go to my grandfather. What am I going to say? My grandfather knows that I'm at school, and people that know me or know my family or my family friends know that I'm in school, I'm in Durban, I'm studying and all of that. So I was like, listen here, you can't tell anyone, and yeah, and all of that. So I stayed there, and I couldn't stay for long, because now I'm like, these people are, because I was going to stay until those people replied. I went to Campton Park, went for the interview. Things were promising. They even took our fingerprints. They like, the only thing that's standing between you and the job is if you have a criminal record or a bad credit record. I didn't have a bad credit record. I didn't have a criminal record. Well, I still don't. Not that I know of. So yeah, there was like, the only thing standing is that. So I waited. I'm like, I was hopeful, but you know what, I'm gonna get this. And they called again. They were like, come for another interview. I was like, how, another interview there? Both, I didn't say that to them, but when I got there, people were like, no, apparently it's an interview with the store manager. But some girl was like, no, they said I should go to at home, like a store at home. So I was like, how come we're going for other interviews? She had gotten the job. And then yeah, when I went to that interview, but it didn't go well, and yeah, they were just like, sorry sweetie, you didn't make the cut. Then I was like, what am I gonna do now? Because I'm at my friend's place. I'm like, I'm gonna have to tell the truth now. I'm gonna have to come out with it, because what is happening, you know, this wasn't the plan. The plan was for me to get a job and get my life together, try and get my life together. So I was like, hi, let me apply, you know, apply for school, because next year I want to go back to school. Apply for school, I applied for everything, applied. And then I was like, okay, sharp, Tembi, I can't stay here for long, can't stay here any longer. I mean, it's been a week now, I can't stay here any longer. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to talk to this other family friends, but there's also someone that's like my age. She's a bit older than me. So yeah, I spoke to her, and she was like, no, she's married. like she was married. I don't know whether to put it in past tense, but she's still married, and she was married at that time. She got married early because I think she was in her mid-20s around that time. Yeah, or late 20s. I think she's 4 years older than me. Yeah, probably. Anyway, spoke to her and I was like, listen, you can't tell your mom because obviously your mom's going to tell my mom. So this has to be a secret. And she was like, okay, cool. I'll help you out. She was like, you can stay as long as you need to until you get a job and all of that, you know. But I was like, obviously I can't crash her space, you know, because she lives just with the husband and her baby. So I have to like, so I stayed there. I think I stayed there for a month or two. Was it for a month? I can't remember, but her mom ended up finding out, of course, because she never filled the husband in on what was going on, and the husband spilled the beans when she was with the father-in-law. So the father-in-law told her mom, and then, you know, so that's how the truth came out. And she was like, her mother was like, you have to tell your mom or else I'm going to tell your mom. And I had to tell my mom, and that was the scariest shit ever. It was the scariest thing ever, but yeah, I had to do it. It had to be done. And I felt like a shitty person because I should have just spoken to her and told her in the first place instead of just, you know, but I was so super scared. I was really super scared. I hadn't, like, this was the first fuck up. Excuse my French. It was my very first fuck up, like, you know. Yeah, I was never like a bad child. Not that they're bad children. I was never like rebellious or anything like that, you know. I was never, so this was like out of line, very out of line for me. And so yeah, after that, I think I stayed there for like a month, and then a friend of mine, well, she's a former friend now. I don't know if I can still say a friend of mine, but I'm just gonna say a friend of mine for the sake of this video. But the other friends are still my friends, like Butembi, yeah, she's still my friend. Can I say their names? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this one I'm not going to say her name, but she helped me out because she was studying at UJ at the time and she wasn't using a place where she lived. She wanted to rent it out because she was still living with her grandmother. She wanted to be with her grandmother and whatnot. Yeah, because I think she wasn't feeling well at that time. So she was like, I can help you out. So you can stay here and you can, you know, you can use my things, you can eat my groceries, can use my toiletries. And I was like, yo, thank you so much, because like everything was just a struggle and she really helped me out at that time. And it was so nice because there was Wi-Fi. It was just like, it was a student accommodation and there were people like more or less my age, so I didn't feel afraid or scared or anything like that. And I didn't have to report to anyone. Like even when I go for interviews, I didn't have to like be like, oh, I'm going for an interview now. Oh, maybe I just told her, or maybe when I needed to borrow cash or whatever, and I tell her. And she'd also spoil me, but like on top of doing everything, on top of me cooking the groceries, eating the food, you know, she'd also come and spoil me and buy me Nando's. Yeah, and I was like, oh girl, and buy me snacks. It was so nice. It was so like someone to do that for me. That was just such a big deal. It was like, oh my god, like thank you so much. You have no idea how much it helped me, because 2018 was just like the pits. 2016 was the worst, but not knowing where you'll sleep, like not having a place to stay, and not, you know, you can't go back to your grandpa because he's just toxic and you don't want to be in a toxic environment, and you just, you know, he won't understand. But why did you leave school? Why did you leave school? You know, obviously, no, even a parent that's not toxic wouldn't understand. But why did you do that? Sorry about that. I just moved the theme. Why did you do that? So now send dialogue. I've lost my train of thought. Send dialogue. Where was I? Ooh, this thing. Let me not show that. Yes. Okay. So Kengoku, I live, and my friend is like, okay, at the end of the month you're gonna have to bounce. I think that is. Okay, I'm not sure. So like at the end of the month you're gonna have to bounce, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna talk to someone. I'm gonna see what I can do, you know. Kai, so I talked to this guy. I'm like, hey, guy, please help me. Guy's like, okay, fine. But I'm like, I'm not going to stay there for long, just until I figure out what I need to do. Guy's like, okay, fine. And he lives in those nice places, like in those nice apartments. And when I get there, he lives with his friend. Like, I'm very awkward with people. And it was just very awkward, okay? But I I had to make a plan. So my mom now knows, and my mom's asking, Bible, where are you? What are you gonna do? Journey? And she's like, no, she'll talk to family members, this and that, and this and that. Through all of this drama, I'm looking for a job, guys. I'm going to interviews. I'm asking people for money to go to interviews. It's not like I'm just chilling and like not doing anything when I get a place. I'm getting rejection left, right, and center. Some I'm getting kubani temba, but I'm going. There was this other call center job in Grandberg, so we're going for training, and I couldn't go for training the last day because I didn't have money and I was tired of asking people for money. So I didn't end up going. I didn't know, but how was it gonna go? So yeah, fast forward. Hey, but I'm not gonna say it. I think the other stories I should leave them for some other time. I should just focus on. But this is now a life after matric. So it's hard. Life after matric is really hard. At least for me, it was. Still is. It's a bit better now, but yeah. Anyway, so fast forward to I think September. Fast forward September, I managed to get a learnership, a marketing learnership. Was it a learnership or an internship? I'm not sure, but I saw it on Twitter. Looking for ZA, I think that's where I saw it. I saw it on Looking for ZA. I think I can still remember. So that applied. Yo, went for an interview. The guy was ebesilela futhi guys. Ebesile wathi accounting sele like obviously they do that in interviews to test whether you'll be able to do the job. And she's like, accounting sele pen, act as if you're selling this pen to me. It was the worst. I think naye ebendihleka ngaphakathi, like he was probably laughing at me, but he probably felt sorry for me, Sham. And then it was like, stand there. I can still remember. I was like, yo, there's a papaya. When you're looking for a job, and it's like, I was like, there's a papaya. But anyway, I did that because I was looking for a job. I think there's some on that side. Now I feel like I should stop talking. Yeah, there's someone that side. It's my dad. It's definitely him. I think I'm gonna pause and then continue when he's gone.